Fancy lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast. Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast. Gonna talk to my friends. Gonna share a thought. Gonna have a laugh. That's what I thought. Fancy lad. The Fancy Lad Podcast. Fancy lad. Fancy lad podcast. Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, yes, we are back. And you know what? It's nice to be back here in the Fancy Lad Podcast studio on the Fancy Lad Podcast.
Yeah. Back with another one of those cock rocking beats.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did he just say cock rocking beats?
You know, that's the thing. When I hear a beat, the first thing I think is this. Is this rocking my cock?
Yes, no, or maybe.
Yes, no, or maybe. You know, and that's the other thing is I say, A, is this rocking my cock? And then I make a multiple choice test. You know, hand out the Scantrons to everyone in the room.
Naturally.
Is this a rock? Is this a cock rocking beat?
Yeah. It's like growing up when you used to play with those cock'em sock'em robots.
God, I'd always... Yeah, you played with those too.
Yeah.
I thought it was just me.
No.
It's weird.
Every kid did.
You'd think over years, you know, uncles would accumulate another game other than cock'em sock'em cockbots.
Cock'em sock'em cockbots is what we're talking on the podcast. For some reason, uncles love them. They love them, and they love giving them as gifts, you know?
They love giving them as gifts.
Oh, God, so many birthdays. I just kept getting that gift over and over by my uncles.
You keep thinking, you're like, wait, am I actually a year older, or is this just the same birthday as last year?
Yeah.
How does time really work?
Does time exist, or is it just a construct?
These are all things we're going to find out on the next season of the Fancy Lad Podcast.
Right.
At some point.
Mm-hmm. Is everything happening simultaneously in this moment?
At the same time. So are you wondering if like everything is happening all at once, or it's just being experienced in different ways? Is that what you're wondering?
Right, as all is one consciousness. So is one person pooping out there right now?
I hope so. I hope more than one person is pooping right now, because there are a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
If only one person is pooping right now,
That'd be weird.
that would be very weird. We'd have a lot of constipated people on the planet.
Yeah.
And that's not something we need to add to the current strain of the environmental crisis.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Which you'll be happy to know our current administration has decided to do nothing about.
yeah, we've
said, you know what, let it burn.
Yeah, we've started this podcast with a few things in mind.
Yep.
You know, hard-hitting skateboard journalism, but
Right,
also
that's one.
trying to get down to the root of this constipation crisis that's been going on.
Oh, man, and it's just been plaguing us forever.
Yeah, as a nation. And I'm looking out for my fellow men. Because, you know, when it gets down to it, I'm just like you.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
I put my shoes on after my socks.
Yep.
My socks I put on 1 foot at a time.
Right. So you're just like me. You put your shoes on after your socks.
Right.
You put your socks on 1 foot at a time as you're sitting on the toilet, letting out a huge steamy load.
Yep.
And also trying to turn a T-shirt inside out, but it's not even a T-shirt you're going to put on. It's just another one, just because you want to reorganize your dresser. But at the same time, you get the coffee pot going.
Yeah, keep going.
So you're thinking about the coffee pot. And then you're like, oh, man, but I got to turn this T-shirt inside out.
Yeah, but I still don't really know why you're turning the T-shirt inside out, but keep going.
Well, I mean, it's just a preemptive thing, so next time I need the T-shirt, it's right side in.
And you only do that exclusively while you're taking a dump while putting on your socks before your shoes?
I'm just saying, in this particular scenario, you know, on top of that, you get all these other things going through your head, like, where am I going to find my next pound of Santa Fe style turkey?
Santa Fe.
You get sliced deli style, obviously.
Right.
A half pound.
Yep.
You
Now,
know,
thick slices or thin slices?
I'm thinking. I like the thin slices, preferably. I mean, the thinner the better, and then you just you layer that shit. Mm-hmm. That's way better. You don't need those thick slices.
And my point being is that I don't think you need to be eating Thanksgiving sandwiches only at Thanksgiving. I think that you can eat a sandwich with turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce any day of the year.
Any day.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because I work hard for my money.
Mm-hmm. He works hard for it.
That's right.
Honey.
Mm-hmm. And if I work hard for my money, I can spend it any damn way I want.
No one's going to tell him not to spend it the way that he wants to.
Nor should they. And I think that it's my God-given right as an American.
It absolutely is. And we all have that right.
I know. Well...
And you know what? Even if you're not an American, you have that right too.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that. You know, things get so crazy and crisscrossed in this capitalist society. You know, it's hard to tell which way is up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'd like to, you know, talk to somebody who maybe has a little bit of insight of what's really going on with this fucking system, you know?
You think you're talking about maybe someone who's escaped the maze that was built around us and, like, has kind of sees, like, the workings of it?
Yeah, the rat race.
Yeah, the rat race from a different perspective.
Yeah, someone who's gotten out of the rat race.
So a rat that has escaped.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the lead singer of System of a Down.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
That would be a very good guess. And anyone besides that, I'd be pretty disappointed.
Yeah. And I'm going to be upfront honest with you right now. I don't know the lead singer's name. Mm-hmm. I don't know his number.
Well, I mean, this is all stuff we would find out.
Right. But it's stuff that we probably should have found out before we interviewed him.
What's the fun in interviewing if you fucking know stuff about him?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So first off, we just want to know, who are you? Why are you here? Why did Engineer Victor book you?
Mm-hmm. Well, nevertheless, we're going to have a quick meeting with Engineer Victor and see what type of guest we can wrangle up. That if it's not the lead singer of System of a Down, it's, you know, it's cultural significant other to him.
Well, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, why don't we go with that?
So you want to go do that, and in the meantime, we can also grab some Clown Shoes brand beer?
Yeah, I could really use a Clown Shoes brand beer right now.
All right, perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Life as a southern sheriff can be pretty taxing. Taxing on the mind, taxing on the body, and taxing on the soul. That's why when I'm feeling my most decaffeinated and dehydrated, I reach for a mocha sombrero. Mocha sombrero. A Mexican-style chocolate stout with additions of coffee and vanilla. All right, no, I'm trying to do the script here. All right, you know, if you're just going to keep doing that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's got coffee. It's got coffee and it's got vanilla. I don't care if you're doing the back. It's got coffee and vanilla, and it's a stout recipe. And the malt flavors, the sweet vanilla. Jesus, oh my God. You know, this is very distracting. Very distracting. You know, if you want to know more about Mocha Sombrero from Clown Shoes Beer, why don't you go ahead and visit clownshoesbeer.com. Go on now, get it.
Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, we are back. And that was a good break.
You know, don't get me started on that break because honestly, we have to do the podcast.
Right.
And I don't want to get sidetracked because we're going to be talking about the break for hours.
Right. We were talking about breaks. Say, oh, I've been dreaming about breaks. You're like, tell me about it. I tell you about it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It was a good break. We got Clown Shoes brand beer. You want to crack into that one real quick? There we go. We got a crack.
It almost sounds like we're on a time crunch here, so we're cracking into the Clown Shoes brand beer. Hold on, let me take a sip.
Glug, 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 glug.
Oh my God, so good. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it is really good.
Ask me what kind it is real quick.
What kind is it?
Yeah, it's a mango farm.
Okay, cool. So anyways, I think, did we find a guest?
Ah, my God. After all that buildup, I'm happy to say that we did.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was like podcast edging.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
We're like, wait, no, not yet. Oh,
Which
no, not yet.
You know, and I gotta say, it makes it feel that much better that we found a guest.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. But anyways, why don't we go ahead?
You know, without further ado,
Mm-hmm.
let's introduce our very special guest, Bill Conway, South Shore legend,
Oh, yes. South Shore.
master of the backside 50-50 grind,
Oh. I'm gonna need to get some pointers.
and CEO of the international famous Hard Times News. Am I right with saying that, Bill?
That's we'll go with editor-in-chief / founder. We'll go with. But guys, thanks for that lovely introduction. I have a question. If finding the guest was podcast edging, am I the load now? Is that
Yeah.
the situation? Cool,
Mhm.
sweet. Good to be the load for once in my life.
Yeah. So don't blow it.
You know, you were to be fair, you were a load at the before your life began, like right before it began.
Oh yeah, I've talked to my parents about that all the time. You know, like what do you think the load size was at that point? Like, you know, had my dad jerked off earlier that day? Like I've grilled them about that, and they hate that line of questioning.
Yeah, yeah.
Was he saving it up so it was just like a power blast, like a super soaker?
Right, like it's so bad that it like gave my mother like heartburn and indigestion. Like that's how much was inside there. You know, just like completely fucked up her digestive system, even though they're not even connected.
Right. Yeah. See, I was like, you know, in the morning, sometimes you wake up and you're just a little drippy. I was just a morning drip situation. My dad woke up. He was like, "Oh, bloody hell!" And he wandered over, and then he was like leaning. You know, there's like a nice little balcony with, you know, some banisters, and he's like stretching, and his willy poked through, and a little doink fell through, and my mom was down there doing morning yoga. And I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. You know how babies are
I know
made.
how sex works. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. So I mean, that was my situation.
Oh, that's romantic. I really like a good love story like that, especially, and it's great that it ended up with what we have now.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, yeah, that's how they met. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And, you know, I would get into me, but, you know, my mom listens to this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say that she always says about my middle brother, Todd, that it was he's the wild child because of how he was conceived. And I always want to be like, Mom, what the fuck does that mean exactly?
You don't want to ask her that. You don't want to ask Nancy that.
It's true. She's a real sweetheart. Yell eggs at Nancy.
Yeah, made you yell eggs at Nancy. But anyway, this is in 2 cents.
This isn't Nancy's 2 cents right now,
Not now.
but this is the Bill Conway special edition podcast episode. So let's just dive right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, how did I know you were a master at backside 50-50s?
Well, it's possible because it's the only trick I've ever put on film at any point is just repeated backside 50-50s. So if anybody had ever been to the Hanson skate park, since that opened over 20 years ago at that point, I probably backside 50-50'd everything there before anybody else had the chance to. So if you went to the Hanson skate park and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, Bill did a backside 50-50 on that," it's strictly because that was the only trick that I could do. So
Kind of a one-trick pony situation.
more or less. Sometimes I could kickflip into the backside 50-50s if you want to count that as two separate tricks.
Oh. Is the Hanson skate park, is that the Muff Park?
Ooh, I don't know. I've
Okay.
never heard it referred to as that, but then again, people have a lot of names for a lot of things.
Well, I'll tell you, it's because South Shore legend Matt Tomasello informed me of your reputation. He said that you have a video part, but it's not online, and he wishes that he could show it to me because it's sick.
Well, it might be a split, the ulterior motive, the Tin Tran early classic video.
That's what he said. It was the Tin Tran Jam.
Yeah, he said K-Man may or may not have a physical copy of it, but
I mean, I have my DVD somewhere. If you want me to hook it up, I can just point the laptop at the TV real quick. We can just watch a part and see what's going down. But yeah, that was a long time ago, but the glory days, real being in your physical prime, being able to skateboard without being hurt, like every other trick. Right now, I'm recovering from what I think is a sprained tailbone. I don't know if that's possible,
Interesting.
but it hurts like a motherfucker when I can walk fine, but if I ollie or try to kickflip, it feels like my ass is falling off, and I don't know how to explain it.
What was the trick when you actually hurt your tailbone?
it was a completely botched pole jam where somehow I ended up back on the board, falling backwards, landed on my tailbone, whiplashed, and then smashed my head off the ground. Like worst case scenario on a pole jam. I don't know how it happened, but it just rocked me, and I'm still recovering like 2 weeks later.
Because I recently hurt my tailbone 360 flipping. Not tray flip like the youngsters say. No, when I grew up, it was a 360 flip. 360 flipping.
You're preaching to the choir.
A two-stair. So I was hucking.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Multiple camera angles on this?
Oh, yeah. I called out at Teeb. I was like, we need a photo. Teebs, get down here.
He's up on the basketball hoop with a long shot. So that's you got to have that. So what happened? How did it go down? A slip out?
It was a slip out, and my board that I was riding was pretty old, and actually I had flattened it out. See, I'm a big guy. I don't know if you knew that. Nickname's Bigzo.
Hence the nickname.
Right.
Okay, so he caught on.
Yeah, he did catch on. He's quick. He's quick.
Are other people not able to figure that out?
A lot of people don't get it, and they're like, what does it mean?
Huh.
Why do they call you Meg now?
They always sound strange, too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But I had completely flattened my entire board out, so it had no nose, no tail, no concave, because of my weight pressing down on the board. And I went to tray flip it after, I don't know why. Oh, it's because I took that board out because I was like, Matt, I'm going to break this board tray flipping this two-stair because I'm so big. And I was like, it's going to be a sick clip when I break my board right away like Chris Cole. And instead, I landed on the nose and completely slipped out because it didn't have any concave.
And yeah, so being a big guy, the slams so I'm a petite gentleman, so my slams usually aren't that bad. Have you dealt with more injuries being a taller guy? Do you think?
I will say, for some reason, I'm built like steel, but I will also say that the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Now, you see, I know you're judging by your hard times. We should probably explain what hard times is for the people listening, but, you're a fan of music.
Yes.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like a Jimmy Cliff situation. I think that's actually the harder they come. But anyway, hard times news is what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So you started it it must have been just this moment, this epiphany moment of hard times news when you saw. Now, granted, I'm assuming that you saw The Onion first.
I've been an Onion fan since I was like 15 years old, when they had hard copies, before they were even on the internet.
Dude, I heard about The Onion back when it was actually a produce, okay?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
That's how fucking cool I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
back when they invented that up in Madison, they finally pulled them out of the ground, those root vegetables.
Those damned root vegetables.
It's not just a dirt cluster. It
Say
stings. It stings.
Yeah, cut into it. See what happens. Fuck around with an onion.
Yeah. Yeah. So you saw The Onion, and it obviously inspired you to make this sort of fake news meme page about alternative culture, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good description.
What I like about it the most, because it's a sort of theme that pops into my head, often about skating, which is why it's relatable, and I get why you started the other podcast that we'll talk about. But it's I like how there's always this sort of like in music, this sort of I don't know if you want to call it sort of clout degree of legitimacy of not being a poser.
Right.
Which I just think is a great theme, and also the theme of what is selling out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
For me.
I think, yes.
Oh no, you go. You go first.
No. I think both of those things have a lot to do with like just legitimacy and how that translates into like everything. Coming from the world of skateboarding and punk and stuff, you have this like tight circle, and when it gets out of that tight circle, like, oh fuck this, it's mainstream and it's bullshit. But it's like, what is that? Where did that attitude come from? Like, why? It's this weird thing. Like we live in this dumb capitalist society. What do you mean we shouldn't get money? Like, fuck, we should all be getting paid for shit, like
Right.
somebody else is going to take that money if we don't. But yeah, the punk world of, hey, that band made some money, fuck those guys, is always funny to me, especially as an adult now, where I'm like, oh yeah, well, but they've been working hard and somebody else would have that money. If they don't, let them have their money.
Yeah. I just want to know how in-depth in, the punk, have you been in many punk bands? Is that where, like, the root of it is?
I have no musical talent, not that you need it for punk music. I was always the guy, we have an article that was like, something like band's #1 supporter, only friend that can't play an instrument or something like that. And that's me. Like, I was always the guy that was in the practice spaces when my friends were writing hardcore music with breakdowns. I'm like, yep, I will mosh to that at the VFW Hall in Kingston next Sunday night.
Hell yeah.
So that was kind of my thing. So I've always been in the scene coming up in the early 2000s, late 90s in the greater Boston area, which was a golden age of hardcore music for the hardcore nerds of the world.
Yeah. The logo itself, you got the boot, and then you printed the sort of Fred Perry. Is that what it is? Parody with the embroidered boot on it?
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't know if you were an Oi spinhead.
My other co-founder, Matt, is much more in that world of Oi and street punk and stuff like that. So it was his dream to make a shirt like that. And when we released that shirt, it was right around the same time that the Proud Boys became a thing. So then people started to claim that we made a Proud Boys shirt, when it was like, if you know anything about punk and skinhead culture, not the bad skinheads, the good skinheads.
Right.
Not
Yellows at Cam Lindsay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, we're not talking boneheads here.
Right.
The Fred Perry was a shirt that was always part of that style, and then it got co-opted by these Proud Boy, dweebs, and so we when we post that online, like, hey, buy this shirt, people are like, oh, you're Proud Boys now? Like, get out of here! You don't know shit. You don't get a loser.
Yeah. It's always a confusing thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That whole I had to have Cam explain to me, but it's cool. Ozzy Osbourne originally was a Oi spinhead.
I wasn't aware that Ozzy was part of that scene, but it makes sense. Working class, London or wherever he's from. It's all tied together.
Yeah, and Bill, I'll tell you, you're in luck because you're talking to two working class gents.
Yeah?
True. Oh,
all right.
Absolutely.
We're part of the working class. I wear steel toe shoes to work.
Are we operating a forklift at this job?
Because it's required.
I mean, I operate a pallet jack. What do you operate?
I operate fucking belt loaders and fucking tugs and shit, dude. And I open doors to
Hell
airplanes.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
just close doors.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this about me because, I'm so successful in the world of online publishing. I've made my tens of hundreds of dollars through this medium. I had 18 years experience as a warehouse professional, starting, in the South Shore, Ralph Pill Electric Supply in East Bridgewater. And then every city I've lived in since then, I've worked in some warehouse, but we're talking forklifts, we're talking pallet jacks. I'm your guy, man. I've made,
This guy gets it.
yeah, I could stack a pallet with the best of them.
Dude,
Wait,
sounds like he's offering us jobs.
you're forklift certified?
I'm not certified. I just fucking get on the thing,
Dude, hell
Dude,
yeah.
hell yeah. This guy fucking gets it.
He fucking
Yeah.
gets it.
I'm not going to wait for some
you want me
bureaucrat.
you want me to spend 45 minutes reading the training about the forklift, or you want me to just fucking do it because it'll take 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think I can figure out how to work the little lever and then press a gas pedal. Get out of here, clown. I've spent some time on a forklift and loaded some trucks.
Dude, respect. And I was just wondering because I wanted to ask you, now that you live in LA.
Yeah, big time. Hollywood, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I was wondering if you ever worry about losing touch with the salt of the earth common man that is your roots of the South Shore, Massachusetts people, such as, We're not from the South Shore, but we are from Massachusetts.
I'm from the North Shore. I'm sorry.
Well, it makes me sick that you would even bring up the North Shore.
Hey, roast beef, baby.
Good roast beef sandwiches. It's true.
You know what's all right. So a real quick, I will get to that question about have I lost touch. I have. I don't. If somebody looks me in the eye outside, and I'm like, don't fucking talk to me, okay? Yeah. Do you know who I am? I am the editor-in-chief of a marginally popular niche satire site.
I can tell.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people in my neighborhood that I've spit on, just for even saying good morning to me, but. All right, so I lived in Portland for 6 years. I met two great friends. They're some of my dearest friends, the Flahertys. They're from the North Shore as well. And it's so funny to me, in Massachusetts, there's a dumb rivalry of North Shore, South Shore, but outside of Massachusetts, nobody cares.
I mean,
it's 30 minutes apart if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been one for rivalries because, they're not, as you said, they're just not, it's fucking stupid. It's like growing up, my rival town was the town that had the skate shop that I went to. I spent almost all my time in that town. It's like, this town sucks too. They all suck. What the fuck is the problem? It's like, it's just all the jerks in this town are mad at the jerks in that town.
Right. Got to be mad at something. I went to school at UMass Lowell for like a semester and a half. So I do have some North Shore roots. The skate park up there that Dave Baczynski would skate that mini ramp at.
The prefab one?
Yep.
Yeah. Took a nasty fall at that one. Still had a gash on my leg trying to backside 5-0 the slanty ledge that they had at that. Somebody, probably some rollerblader or something, waxes the shit out of it. I'm talking caked with wax.
I like that's what I like.
Yeah. So I show up, I'm just like in between classes, I'm just big man on campus and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go skate. Any chicks want to show up, come watch me shred. I'll be at that prefab skate park. Maybe Dave Baczynski will be skating the mini ramp. I go there. I try to hit that backside 5-0 on the slanty ledge, slip out, kick the ledge on the way down, realize something is definitely wrong because it's not bleeding the gash. I'm like, oh shit, it's bad when it doesn't bleed, right? Because you can see too deep into it. Go back to my dorm room, just kind of try to forget about it. Put my foot on the ground after I'm playing around on AOL Instant Messenger, and puddle of blood there. Probably needed stitches, didn't get them because, hospitals. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'm not going to a hospital.
Dude,
I worked
seriously.
in a warehouse.
Did you super glue it?
No, I fucking let it bleed, man. It just, just let it all hang out. It turned black. My brother almost threw up when he saw it. It was cool.
Rolling Stones, let it bleed.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. This guy knows his rock and roll, I can tell.
Yeah. So wait, so we got North Shore. Where are you from in Massachusetts?
Technically, I think they call it the Metro West.
Okay, so Worcester?
Franklin County?
Franklin County, yeah. I grew up in Norfolk. It's the town next to the Foxborough Stadium where the Patriots throw that little pigskin.
Yeah, okay. I dated a girl from Mendon, which I think is roughly
Mendon.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, you got it's for what I think the marathon starts around there as well, but
it's in Hopkins.
You dated the girl. What happened? It didn't work out.
It just when you're 18, it just wasn't true love, man. But every day I think about her.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm married, but I still stalk her Instagram.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Just by looking at you.
Yeah, I'm a Instagram creep, and I'm proud to say
it must be that that lighting coming from underneath you for some reason.
I don't know. It's reflecting off of my desk, so it's almost the golden hour here in Los Angeles, and so I'm gonna look really good for the next 15 minutes, and then the sun's gonna get a little lower and blind me, and I'm gonna be really uncomfortable. But hey, this is what happens.
Yeah,
that's show business, baby.
Yeah, you know it.
All of my friends who actually are more successful in their artistic pursuit of their career moved to LA and New York, and I don't really like those places. Why did you move there, and what do you think is better about it for your actual networking? I just want to know for myself. Should I move there?
I guess it depends on what your goals are. So I moved to San Francisco when I was 23. moved out of Boston, moved to San Francisco. San Francisco is kind of like a skateboard town. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It's got
Thrasher
a
magazine.
Yeah. It's a small.
That's in San Francisco.
Stereo skateboards.
Yeah.
San Francisco?
That
Really?
started in San Francisco.
And San Francisco's in California.
No.
Yeah.
This is something for everyone to learn, you know?
Yeah. It's a
GX
cool,
1000.
Yeah. Those guys too. Deluxe. It's
Yeah.
if
Deluxe.
if you aren't familiar with San Francisco, look it up. You might realize you recognize some of the spots from skateboard videos.
Sight unseen, Henry Sanchez's part.
Do you know San Francisco's Instagram handle?
Yes, it's at San Francisco. It's at the real San Francisco. At the real San Francisco.
Okay, let me just
I got it right here.
Let me
Blue
just say
check
real
and
quick.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yes.
And I feel like an idiot.
Golden Gate Bridge. People jump off of it all the time.
All the time. They love it. But let me just say real quick. Fort Miley, my favorite spot in San Francisco. Honestly, it's the only reason why I would go back.
It is. All right. Fort Miley, such a fun spot. So you've skated it. The fact that Dennis Busenitz did the 50-50 ollie to 50-50 on the bar at Fort Miley, I don't like him for that. You know, like it doesn't. He's like my favorite skateboarder ever, but I want to that's not fair, man.
Yeah.
You know, like that, because that bank is so steep. Even getting to that rail is nearly impossible. So the fact that anybody skates that is crazy. But for him to do so,
Was Duffy the first one who actually ollied over the corner?
I don't know. I think Phil Shea was the first guy to hit the top bar.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking. No. It wasn't just hitting the top bar. I know, Phil Shao and, R.I.P. Yell Exit, Phil Shao. And, Dan Hobel did. But I was wondering just the all. I feel like I remember seeing an old photo of just the ollie over that little corner pocket.
Yeah. It could be. I mean, what didn't Pat Duffy do in San Francisco? You know,
right.
So I lived in San Francisco, met my wife there. We moved up to Portland, Oregon. Now, Portland's kind of a sleepier town. It's not as big as San Francisco. It's also got a skate park there called Burnside, which was in a Tony Hawk video game. Tony Hawk is a skateboarder you might know.
Popularized by Pigpen. Yeah, I remember the skate park. Yeah.
Yeah. So moved to Portland, and then I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 10 years now. And my wife was always like,
that's weird. Did you want to start making jokes on the podcast?
I have a 5-minute chunk that I want to work out towards the end. If you guys will just allow me to do
5.
that.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah. It's rough right now. I haven't been able to hit any open mics during the pandemic, and it's very, very blue. So if your mother's listening to this, maybe we'll have her shut that off before we get to that point, because it's vile.
I was going to say, I'm kind of jealous of your 5-minute chunk, because I've just got this 3.5-minute lump.
Oh, you can mold that lump into 2.5 minutes of pure gold. So you just wait. You know, it's all about grinding, baby.
Trust me, I try every night.
Okay, good. As long as you're trying. But when I was living in Portland, my wife just woke up one day. She's like, "Do you want to move to LA?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And so we moved to LA. That was it. And then we've loved it here. I love Los Angeles. It is the best city.
What do you love about it?
What I love about Los Angeles is let's take the weather out of it.
Yeah,
weather
take
is
that out
off
of it,
the table.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Wait, is it good?
Yeah.
The weather in Los Angeles is good.
I thought we were going to take that off the table.
Wait, but I just wasn't sure if it was good or not. I get it confused with the traffic. I can't remember which one's good, which one's bad.
The traffic is bad. The weather is good. That's the Los Angeles thing. All right. So now that it's off the table, what I like about Los Angeles is the fact that it is so big that you can find the part of Los Angeles that reminds you of what you like. You know, there's not one thing in Los Angeles. It is a whole different ecosystem. Do you want the woods? Do you want to remember what it's like living on the North Shore in the woods? You can find that. Just go out to Altadena, man. You know, and it's got that feel. But now you're in LA, Hollywood, baby. You look up at that Hollywood sign, you're like, ooh, yeah, this is where the stars are.
My point being is you like the glitz and the glamour.
I am a sucker for it. All right, guys, I'm not trying to swing my dick around here. All right, I'm not swinging my dick around here.
It looks like you are.
If you do, would you lower the camera a bit so we can get a better view?
I won't even need to lower it.
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I have to lower
You're
it.
gonna need a wide angle. Yeah.
have you seen? You guys are a fan of television? Have you ever watched this?
Tom is. I'm more of a fan of film.
Okay. So I don't know why you're digging on LA if you're such a film head. So
You fucking film.
Well,
head.
I think I'm envious because of it. Because I'm like, why the fuck does this one place in the world get to, hold the keys to the kingdom? You know?
Also, Bill, you know what? This reminds me. I was talking about this the other day. Sorry, this just threw me off.
No,
you're from the South Shore. Do you
South
remember
Shore?
when fucking probably fucking 10, 15 years ago, they're like, Plymouth is going to be East Hollywood. Do you remember that?
I was probably gone by the time that they were trying to pump up Plymouth as East Hollywood. I might have already been in San Francisco, which is a city in California. But
Is that a state?
California is a state on the West Coast. It's
Okay.
pretty large. It's one of the more populous West Coast states.
You
All
like?
right. So, have you seen this Facebook commercial for Deaf Hoops Facebook by any chance?
No.
No.
All right.
No.
Well,
Are you on
next-
Facebook? Is that still a thing?
I have to be on it for my job. I don't use it. I just post things on it. It's just like, hey, I have to post this. But they filmed a commercial for this Deaf Hoops. Was it filmed on my street? Yeah, it was. Our dogs that I walk by every day featured in the commercial. Yeah, that's Hollywood, baby. I go by those dogs. They don't talk to me anymore because they're like, yeah, we're from the Deaf Hoops commercial. I'm like, fuck you. Like, you used to bark at me. Now I can't even get barked at. It's fucked up.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is that famous people are better than everybody else, which I completely agree with 100%.
I don't know how you can argue with that. Like, they are, first off, you recognize them, therefore they're better than you. They have way more money than us.
Obviously.
So that makes them better. And they are accepted by the Hollywood power brokers, who are the taste makers that I respect the most.
Yeah.
So that's really what it all comes down to. But the other thing about LA, people talk, oh, everybody's fake in LA. What I like about LA is everybody's trying to get things done. I like that. People are motivated here. When I lived in Portland,
that's a little different than here.
Yeah, when I lived in Portland, nobody was motivated. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm retired." You know that Portlandia bullshit? Like, "Oh, I'm retired." It's out here. It's like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to do things." And when you're in a creative pursuit, it's good to have the entire energy be, "Okay, let's fucking get things done." It keeps you going.
Yeah, I get that. And I get the locality of the whole thing, like recognizing like things that have been filmed in the area, because I like living in Boston because I recognize these spots from a little video called PJ Ladd's Wonderful Harbor Life.
I've heard of that video. I remember watching that video. I'm a huge Southie fan.
The greatest skate video of all time.
Yeah.
Yellow Exit Southie.
Yep. Are you a big Southie fan? Or is it?
No, is anybody a Southie fan? I'm sorry if Southie is a friend of the podcast.
He's a friend of the podcast, the good homie. But
Okay. So here's the thing. When I as that video came out, and I'm completely detached from anything. Also, PJ Ladd actually skates the local, which is right over by my house, the Frogtown Park. Just bumped into him the other day. Said, "Yo, PJ, what's up? South Shore, represent." He's like, "Yeah, dog." So
nice.
Southie to me seemed like a bully in that video, and I don't like bullies.
What gave you that impression?
The bullying.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whether or not
So Punk doesn't like bullies, has a problem with authority. Now, this is all news to me.
I'm sorry to have to break this to you on the pod. We should have had a pre-pod discussion.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed punk has a problem with authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird,
Yeah.
Usually, I know most people are usually, they see a cop and they're like, "Thank you, officer. Have a great day, officer." But no, punks are like, "No, thank you."
Yeah. Well, it's a tough thing, like, similar to building the skate brand, because we started, like, I don't know if you're familiar with our earlier work, but we started with a big middle finger of, we don't give a fuck. We're just going to put these videos out just to piss people off.
Hell yeah.
And then they slowly started getting better and better. And then
Did the finger turn down?
Bit by bit, I was like, wait a minute. These are actually like starting to be like good videos. Like, are we losing touch? with what we started with, but I don't think so. I think that we just
start perfecting what
creatively started
Yeah,
evolving, you know, and getting, you know, just better at just rather than honing in on just you know, personality footage or this and that. It just started, the focus just kind of shift towards NBDs and creative skating. And I still think that there is this underlining sort of punk mentality, just because we still, I mean, it's still just me filming with my friends and just, you know, just going out and just fucking around. It's like, even just because they've gotten better, it's kind of like, it's something that I think about all the time with, like, I don't know, there is legitimate, I mean, Nirvana's a punk band, but they're a huge mainstream band.
Well, it's what drove Kurt Cobain to have Courtney Love kill him.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 110%.
Yeah, no, that's about the right percentage that you should agree with that statement.
Yeah. So, I mean, did Nirvana lose any credibility because they were selling millions of records? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I still consider them a punk band, even though they were the probably top-selling album of, you know, 1990 whatever with Nevermind.
It's what the world needed at the time. It was a reaction. That's what punk is. It's a reaction.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you guys, you're looking at these clean skate videos of everything. Oh, it's prim and proper. And look at all this high-end footage of these top names doing these big things. And it's like, oh, no. Flip it on its head, baby. We're reacting. We're taking it back to the roots, the old school skateboarding when it was fun. You know, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And this was back in like 2011 too. I feel like it doesn't have the same sort of credibility now because skateboarding's changed so much. It's like now it's like you see a bunch of that stuff on Instagram already.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, there was no Instagram. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I think that, I've said it before on the podcast. Matt Taylor said I am punk, and I'm saying it again. I'm a punker.
Okay. Yeah. Real punks call themselves punkers. So that's a good way to go.
Don't let the ICP shirt confuse you. I'm a punker. Not a juggalo.
I would never call you a juggalo, despite the fact you're wearing an ICP shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does it look like I have any face paint on?
No, it doesn't.
Kind of.
It doesn't.
Oh.
Because, dude, you don't get it because you're not punk. But wearing an ICP shirt is one of the punkest things you can do.
Right. You know, you say that I'm not punk, but what if I'm wearing ICP basketball shorts right now? Because maybe I am.
Fuck.
We know you're not wearing anything besides that T-shirt.
Yeah, you're right. I'm Donald Ducking it over here on the pod.
So how many people are working for your operation over there? I'm just curious about how, like, Hard Times News, I'm assuming that's what you do as a full-time job, essentially. I mean, I know you probably have some side gigs.
So for the Hard Times have been around since 2014. For the first 5 years, it was a side job. I would do it after the warehouse work. I'm forklifting all day. I'm stacking pallets, you know, and I'm working the pallet jack. I don't know if you guys ever worked on a Raymond machine, but that's a fun little machine too, a Raymond.
Deborah.
Yes.
Raymond.
Everybody loves it.
Raymond.
Yeah, you nailed
Deborah.
it.
Raymond.
You ride Ray Romano around a warehouse and you pick things off of the taller shelves.
It's not Brad Garrett?
Yeah, that's Brad Garrett. He's better for the things that are way high up. He's a tall man.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's perfect for that because he keeps quiet too. He's kind of introverted. But so the Hard Times for the longest time was a side grind, and we have a lot of freelance contributors that help out. And I've always just been the head of the editorial. I write a lot, I edit a lot. And in 2019, about 5 or 6 months after I moved to LA, we were in a position where I could go full time. So we took the leap and was like, all right, I'm going to go full time on this stupid thing and see how it goes. And I've been full time ever since then. So it is currently my full time gig. It still doesn't make sense to me. And every day I feel like I will need to go reapply at a warehouse any second now that I'm going to be like, hey, I may not be forklift certified, but I can drive a forklift. And but as far as employees of the Hard Times, there's the founder, Matt, me, the co-founder, and then our managing editor, Chrissy. We're the 3 full-time people, and then we have freelancers that also help out with generating content.
So how many is that? Can you count that on one hand?
3 employees.
3 employees.
You didn't answer the question.
Okay.
Can you count that on one hand?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
you
there we
can.
go. Okay,
And I'm just
thank you.
curious, you don't even have to get in depth with this, but I'm just curious for myself.
Yes.
With, a meme page like that's got like 500,000 followers. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get any revenue outside of just streamlining shop sales, or is there some other source that just comes just from making the content itself?
This is kind of like the greatest tragedy of the Hard Times is if we started it in 2007 instead of 2014, with how the internet worked way back then, I'd be on a golden yacht right now because of all the advertising dollars that would have came into our direct traffic website. Like the Ray-Ban ads, the Vans ads, they would have been all over the fucking place with the amount of traffic we have. Mm-hmm. But our good friends over at Google, Facebook, and Amazon have ruined advertising so much that we are just you're getting the crumbs while they're eating the cake.
Yeah.
And so that was a big revenue generator for us, was just the traffic and people being on the website, native ads and all this. But that is slowly being chipped away at by the big 3. And so our main source of income is like, all right, we have an exclusive variant of the new At the Gates album. Let's sell this in our store, and people are going to buy 300 copies of this At the Gates album. So that's kind of our big money generating thing, is using our platform to give people the content that they want, but also sell them things that they might actually want to hear on their record player.
I was curious about that too. I mean, just real quick, I've always, wondered if there was any sort of thing besides ad revenue, because that's the only thing that I can even fathom getting an income from for making videos, but no one makes money off skate videos anymore too. Like I said, if I started the company 10 years earlier, it could have been a CKY2K scenario.
Right. 100%.
But
you would have been knee deep in DVD sales, just being like, oh, look at all these bucks.
Knee deep, like the CKY song.
Exactly like the CKY song. It all goes back to CKY.
That's what I'm trying to say. But I was wondering, so yeah, the Hard Times reprints vinyl of just records that you hand cherry pick, or
so yeah, we have the Hard Times. Actually, we sold the company for the most part back in 2020. No, during the pandemic, whenever the pandemic was. I don't know how time works. And so I am technically a full-time employee of a bigger company called Project M. They also own Inked and Revolver magazine. And they have a guy named Tony, and he basically makes deals with record companies. So he could go up to Metal Blade Records and say, hey, I see that you're re-releasing this thing. We want to sell 300 copies exclusively here. Make them green and black, and we're going to sell them. And they go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Here's an exclusive thing. So he's these back channel, wheeling, dealing, greasing palms, all this stuff. He's a real slick guy. Yeah. And that's what, that is how we really make the money, is through that. So it's not anything, we do not have the print shop in Czechoslovakia that is doing the vinyls, which is.
But why don't? Sorry,
Czechoslovakia is where all the vinyl is made these days. Czech vinyl, baby.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, and I'm so glad that you finished your thought.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did. It would have been like when you lose a sneeze or something like that, and it just bothers you for the rest of the day.
Yeah. But so why don't
that's nasal edging?
But why don't you have to give any money to like the the Sex Pistols or like the Beastie Boys?
So those records, those particular ones might already be printed up, and we're just getting it from a distributor, and then just it's same way Newberry Comics would sell it online.
Okay.
I'm going to use a local record place like Newberry Comics.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
thank
thank you.
you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
None of this amoeba bullshit.
No.
Okay.
Everybody talks about how much they love amoeba. They have an amoeba in San Francisco. I used to live in San Francisco. All right. It's a small town in.
Oh my God!
kinda
Say
like
it
the north
again.
of
He used to live in
California.
San Francisco. God, he needs
lot
to
of hills.
Brag about his LA clout. Now it's the SF clout.
So they had an amoeba there. I'd go there and like big whoop. And then I moved down to LA and they're like, there's an amoeba in LA. I'm like, big whoop. It's not Newberry Comics.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I want to go to Newberry Street. I want to go there at midnight on Tuesday on new release day. And I'm going to get them because they're open for an extra 15 minutes. That's how old I am.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to pull the veil out from, the mystery of it all, for the few people listening to the podcast, But I'm just so curious myself. I just had to ask.
No. I am here to answer any and all questions about online revenue because it's a tough business these days.
Real quick, I need to pee. Do you want to take a break? Do you want to just talk?
Yes, take a break while you take a pee.
Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, we are, and presumably that was a good pee.
Oh, just one of those pees you dream about.
I've been
I don't
dreaming
know why
about
you
pee.
forced us to watch it though. You brought the camera
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
you.
I brought
and-
the whole computer.
Yeah. Do
I
you do that
figured-
with every guest?
I just I figure it's kind of like method acting.
Right.
I just want you to stay in the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You should know that from going to all your auditions in LA. Since you're secretly trying to seek out all these roles as a supporter actor to Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Have you
You're-
been talking to my agent? Like, has he told you what I've been going out for? Because
Yeah, you're going up for a part about a guy who's watching another person pee.
yes,
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly.
So we were trying to help you out there.
He represents me as well. And I've been
shit.
trying to undercut you by telling him, I'd be like, I'll do it for half the price. Whatever Bill's accepting, I'll take half.
This is why I can't get any work in this goddamn town. You know, my God. Yeah, that's why I've said it from the beginning. I hate Los Angeles. Fucking hate this town.
Yeah, so too bad you're not getting on the return of Twin Peaks. I'll be playing the role of Bobby.
Fuck. He's the guy that watches people pee the most.
Yeah, I know. He loves it.
And I'm playing the twin number 2.
You're gonna be on it too. Oh, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
He's playing the peak, is
yeah.
what he's saying.
Yeah, peak number 2 of the peak twins.
But you're not even the tall one out of the duo here, right? Or are you guys roughly the same? I can't tell because of the sitting. You know?
Listen, I don't know how long
I'm
you've been
taller
in
than you.
LA, but they can actually put cameras real low on the ground and point it up.
You've seen a Glenn Danzig video? They
I've
make that
seen a
guy
Glenn
look
Danzig.
huge.
Or
Yeah.
any Tom Cruise movie.
This is true. Have you guys seen the classic video clip of Glenn Danzig getting knocked out by the Northside Kings frontman backstage by any chance?
No, I have not.
Oh, that sounds so good.
But
All
that
right, so-
sounds like something I would be interested in.
So
It's very much so.
When this is all said and done, you can go on YouTube and just type in Glenn Danzig Northside Kings. And what I guess has happened is that it's some sort of festival or something, and Northside Kings didn't like, or Glenn Danzig didn't like with where he was billed on the show or something. He gets in an argument with the singer of the Northside Kings backstage, and Danzig pushes him, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck's up, motherfucker?" Glenn Danzig, 5'5" or however tall he is, and this other dude just hits him with a haymaker, melts Danzig like a candle, and and then just walks off into the distance after just making sure Glenn had to eat through a straw for the next 6 weeks because he lays him out.
Damn.
Ouch.
Yeah. Also, Glenn Danzig's house is not too far from me.
Oh,
I knew
do you
it.
go
I knew
over
it.
there
I
frequently
knew-
and
I
try
knew
to
he
punch
was
him?
Going to try to name drop Glenn Danzig.
Yeah, so he apparently doesn't live in this place anymore, but I make sure I walk by at least 3 or 4 times a day just so I could try to sucker punch him if he's stopping by to like pick something up, you know? So I'm gonna knock out Glenn Danzig.
Yeah, and you
Well-
know what? If anyone else within his height range that happens to be nearby, they better watch the fuck out. We're talking between 5'2" and you know what? Actually, let's extend it 5 foot to 6'5". Let's give it a big wide berth there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean-
Any long-haired guy in that height range is getting hit.
Oh yeah.
Punk claims he doesn't like bullies, yet only picks on people smaller than him. You do
Hey,
the math.
here's the thing. Glenn is a wide guy,
He's a chody fella.
Density wise, we probably even out. So I'm not going to say that I'm bullying Glenn Danzig, but I would shove him into a locker. I would give him a swirly if I could. And I'd also be like, hey, I really like the Misfits. Like Skulls is one of my all-time favorite songs. Hybrid Moments is a masterpiece. I'd tell him this while I was beating him up.
Yeah.
This kind of adds some passion to it.
You're not more of a Sam Hain fella?
I'm not, because I know that's not how you pronounce it, and I don't know how it's actually pronounced.
Is it Sam?
Well, that is the epitome of, this hipster bullshit that I'm talking about. Not only do you call me out for mispronouncing it, but you do not know how to pronounce it yourself.
I don't, and I apologize. All I know is I've been calling it Sam Hain for my entire life, because so let's see. Hold on. How do you pronounce it? It doesn't say on Wikipedia how you pronounce it. So what's
Sam Hain?
Just edit this out, guys. I didn't say anything. All right, edit it out.
No, we're keeping this in.
Come on, edit this out, guys.
No. You dug your own grave. Now you're gonna have to lie in it.
Oh, man. Wait until Big's mom hears this. You're going to sound like an idiot.
Fucked, dude.
What was the last song you listened to on your Spotify?
Let's see. I can tell you. Hold on.
Or the last song that you liked on your playlist, if that's easier to look up.
My last song. So the last thing that I played, and then it went into kind of random selections based on what it thinks I like, was the Drug Church EP Tawny was the last thing I listened to. Currently, the last thing that I heard was Gulch, and it was Fucking Towards Salvation. If you guys aren't down with Gulch, that's some heavy-ass shit there.
Damn. Yeah, my SouthShore homies at work put Gulch on all the time.
Are they as heavy as, like, Korn, or what are you talking about for heavy-wise?
All right, nothing is as heavy as Korn. So let's... Taking Korn off the table.
No, but I love Korn. It's such a good side.
It's great. It's up
One
there
more
with
scoop.
Onions.
One more scoop, please.
You like Korn off the cob?
I'll think, however,
Okay, yeah.
It's getting off the cob no matter what.
He's a cobman.
You're not eating the cob with the corn, are you, Bill?
It depends on how the cob is prepared. You guys never ever dug into the actual bony cob part. Oh, delicious.
Oh, we eat the whole cob. We don't just eat the corn off the cob. We eat the whole fucking cob.
Good. I'm
drop
glad
it down
I got
the
a couple
gullet.
of cob boys.
Yeah, we're a bunch of cobmen over here.
But so Gulch, the South Shore friends are playing you Gulch. They know what heavy is. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's, and I hate to bring up South Shore again, but. We're like, oh yeah, we're not, Bill Conway. Anytime you mention that to someone from the South Shore, they go, fucking Bill Conway? Holy shit, dude.
You know what? So I've talked about this a little bit on my other podcast, Vert Button. My reputation is so unearned that it is hilarious to me, because people would be like, wait, did you actually backside Smith grind the rail at Bunker Hill? Like, no, I've never actually been to that rail. Like, the shit people have made up about me is so much sicker than what I've actually done, and it's so funny to me.
However,
rumors are always nice, It's like, well, that's not true, but go on, because I want to hear what other people think, because this is much more interesting than the reality.
Right. But sometimes, it's like in the movie Little Giants, where Rick Moranis is talking about when he beat his brother one time. Mm-hmm. All it takes is one time to become a legend. And I hear your trick down the yellow curb at BU. Down the garage. Mm-hmm. The whole curb.
Yep.
Tell the people what it was.
I mean, maybe it was the kickflip 50-50 backside 180 out.
Damn right it was the kickflip 50-50 backside 180 out.
Okay.
Now, what were you doing with all that speed?
Paint us a picture of the day. Mm-hmm.
All right, so for those of you that have skated that, it is the paint on that is made out of rubber, so it slows you down. So that's really all that it came down to was just had a good lock in and could ride it out. Now, if anybody, I don't know if it's ever been done, but if anybody's ever manualed that thing, then that's a psychopath. All right. And I don't want to meet that person because I don't know if that's even, has anybody done it? Because I don't know.
Brian Leary did that.
No,
is that
he
not
just,
the one?
no, I think he just
wrote it. He just
skinny
wrote it?
wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
But
didn't
even that's
manual
pretty
it.
psycho. Though.
That is
Yeah.
Yellings of Brian Leary. He's definitely listening.
But the
But is
manual,
that
I
thing
don't
even
know if that's MBD. I'm going to have to look into it.
Yeah, but just for the listeners to give them some perspective as to what spot we're talking about, it is the one that Tony Darkslid is Ender in what was that?
FL4, I think.
FL4, yeah. So that's just for some.
That's a hell of a long dark slide right there. You know,
He was fucking humming down it. You pick up a lot of fucking speed, even when you're grip tape down, going down that thing.
yeah.
Yeah, must have de-rubberized it or something.
That's why the kickflip back 50-50 180 is crazy.
So
Because
that
he must have been fucking whipping.
It probably was. It probably was kind of fast. I don't remember. You know, like I feel like to get the 180 out, I probably would have had one of those backside 50-50s where it slowed me down. Like my kingpin started to grind into it a little bit. And then I was like, all right, I'm at a reasonable speed where I can spin out of this. And it just happened to be in the Goldilocks area and I was able to get it done. But that little ledge with that curb, it's more of a curb. Like I used to live in Alston and that just going down, was that Cambridge Street? No, that's not. Is it? That's not Cambridge Street. Commonwealth. That used to just be what I would do every night. I would go down to Commonwealth, I'd go to Copley, and then I'd skate back in a giant circuitous route and just hit the same spots every night. And man, what a good time.
With the 180 out, was it planned or is that just one of those spontaneous things where you're at the end of the 50-50 and you said, what the hell, a 180 out?
It was a what the hell moment. You just throw it out there, see what happens.
I love that. Now, yeah, speaking of the Vert Button podcast that you mentioned, me and Tom have been talking about this similar idea that, you know, we will do eventually, but we haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Just like all of our ideas.
Exactly. Because we don't live in LA. We don't have that go-getter attitude, but we'll do it eventually where we have a streaming service where we watch skate videos and give live commentary over it.
Yeah, you do that over Twitch or something like that. That's where you got to do it.
Exactly. But I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it's going to gain the same sort of following like, you know, with the commentary on the whole music scene and everything like that. Music's so much more universal. Skateboarding, I feel like, doesn't have the same sort of mass appeal. You know, not everyone loves skateboarding, but everyone loves music. That's where I think
you're dividing up the pie a lot when you dig into subcultures, you know, and then you just got to find out what takes and what doesn't, you know. Yeah, I mean, that idea that people have asked like, hey, would you ever think about doing a live show where you did this? And the way we do Vert Button is we kind of watch the video like 10 times and take notes and really want to talk about it. So to have things go by really fast, we keep being like, all right, we need to pause it and then we need to go back because we're going to watch this just how Andrew Reynolds does this kickflip real quick, because did you see how Andrew Reynolds did that kickflip? Yeah, it's fucked up. So that's the only thing that we have is like we really just want to slow it down. We're talking we do 2 hours on 30-minute videos, you know. So it's a process.
I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I didn't know that you even skated. Well, no, I'd seen Ulterior Motive, but I didn't put the pieces together. No one told me that you were actually the Bill Conway until I saw that you were doing the Vert Button and mentioned it to pro skater Matt Tomasello.
Right.
And because Bill Conway is a pretty common, like, you know, Boston area name.
Right.
Know?
Yeah. I mean, I think
that was my little league coach's name. Honestly, not even
great guy.
He was actually a really nice guy. He was very great. His whole
did he lead you to great things? Like, how did that team do?
The team was shit.
Fuck, Bill.
I mean, look at me now. I'm in this great studio, but besides that, everything was fucking garbage. But
damn it! So Bill wasn't able to pull through as a mentor. Like,
well,
what
you
the
know
hell,
what?
man?
That's not on Bill, though.
Okay.
That's not on Bill.
Did you call him Bill? Or did you call him Mr. Conway?
I called him Mr. Bill Conway. So.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah! That's very formal.
Yeah, it was. It was weird. It was a real weird situation. We had to salute him, and then he made us do this dance.
This guy doesn't sound like a good guy.
Yeah, it was weird. Then every time another guy would show up and be like, "Hey, get out of here! You're not the coach. You're not supposed to be here."
Wait, so somebody would chase off this Bill Conway guy every time?
Yeah, and then he'd be like, "All right, kids, I'm the real coach," and he'd be like, "Hey, Mister, why'd you chase away our coach, Mr. Bill Conway? I mean, you're clearly the imposter, so we're going home." And we'd
This
all get on
happened
our bikes
every time.
every single time.
Oh my God. How many games were in a season?
I think there's like 500.
Shit. That's weird that you guys weren't able to figure it out. But
well,
hey,
they were
that's what
making
being
us
a kid
play,
is like.
They're making us play so many games. We were so dehydrated. We just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that's like 1.3 games a day. So that's a lot of games.
I was playing so much I never got to finish math school, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, in math school in Massachusetts, it was particularly difficult. The fact that they made you go to a completely different building to do math. All across Massachusetts, that was a common thing.
And rather than just giving you the address like a normal fucking person, they would give you some complex equation and be like, figure it out. You're like, God damn it. I'm bad at this.
Pythagorean theorem again, just to figure this out. Why do you keep moving the building?
And they called it PEMDAS. What I was going to say about the Vert Button podcast is that I appreciate it because it actually is giving credit to skate videos as a legitimate art form and actually kind of putting this emphasis on them where, it's kind of giving. I mean, I've been obsessed with skate videos my entire life, but no one gives a shit about them at the end of the day. So I appreciate it. Is what I'm trying to say for the niche sort of thing that it is.
I mean, when you grow up around skateboarding, the influence that for skateboarders of a certain age, the influence of skateboard videos is you're not able to actually quantify that, because you hear a song when you're walking around Target and you're just thinking like, oh man, who skated to this? Like, as you're talking to your girlfriend or your wife and you're like, I don't know, they're like, oh, well, get out of here. What do you mean you don't know who skated to this? But it's just ingrained in you. And then you go around, we're talking PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life. When you're just going around Boston and you're just like looking at like when he kickflips that rail outside of the church down by the fucking the Commons, there's no runway to that. But how does he do it? How does he do it? And you just think about these things for the rest of your life. I don't know. Skateboard videos, man. I love them.
Yeah. And I do like that you specifically just do it for the golden age of skateboard videos.
What do you qualify as the golden age? Like, you got what are your ages?
I will tell you exactly what I quantify as the golden ages, starting from Welcome to Hell.
Okay, I'm on board.
To Minefield.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
And that are the bookends of the golden ages.
So let's see.
I'm 34 years old.
Okay, I'm 37. So Minefield, according to the internet, Minefield came out in what, 2000 and oh, come on. This is stupid. I think my computer just got a virus from whatever I just fucking clicked on there.
Was it
the 2009 Minefield?
LimeWire?
No, I'm at some weird porno site right now. Okay, now this seems...
You can, if you want to see if there's a screen share option, you're welcome to turn that on.
Well, it's a video that says that I won't be able to last more than 5 minutes when I play this game, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure I could last more than 5 minutes. There's no way they're going to kill me that fast. I'm pretty good at video games.
How about this? Why don't you screen share that, throw it on real quick. We'll take a break and see if we can last 5 minutes, and we'll come back and tell the viewers how it went.
Yeah, no, this sounds perfect.
Okay, cool. We're gonna take that break then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
I was not able to last 5 minutes. That was embarrassing. Not even close.
Hey, you know what? I'm not ashamed. It was fun either way.
It's true.
All right. So Minefield seems to be 2009. I would say the golden age. Now this is just me, being a 37-year-old, couple years older than you. I'm gonna say, to me, 2006, 10-year thing.
Well,
right there.
what is the
96 to
final
2006.
video then that came out in 2006? I need
For
to
me?
know. Yeah.
It's Bag of Suck.
Okay. That is
a good
that
ender.
is
That is a good
honestly the second to last on my list of top 5. So that makes sense.
And yeah, so I started skating in 96. And then I don't know, I guess I was 22 in 2006. So that's right around when your life starts to go to shit, So that's it. My glory days coincide with skateboarding's golden age, and that's just me. But there's obviously some great videos after Bag of Suck, but golden age, I think is that decade.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like 2006, 2007 is probably when I started paying like way less attention to what was currently going on in skating, or like watching like videos, like it was just like not as exciting. And I mean, that probably had to do with leaving, home and going to college and not being at the skate shop every fucking day and, surrounded by skaters and just like having no one around that really gave a shit,
Yep.
But still skate, but it's just like you don't pay attention to that everything else, then all of a sudden it's just like I don't know what's going on with this, It's like I remember this, but like kind of don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I feel like that transition of when you stop hanging out at the skate shop really affects how you consume videos, because maybe you're living with a couple of people that don't skate anymore, and they're like, you have one TV in the living room, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, we wanted to watch The Office. And you're like, but I was just gonna throw on Sight Unseen real quick. And you're like, what? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Or you get a few people that are like, oh no, yeah, I skate, and then you watch something with them, and then it's like, as you're watching it, you're like, this fucking dude doesn't skate.
Well, it's an exclusive group. It's like when I went to college, and my roommate used to put on, who's going there for drums, used to put on drum videos.
Can you hear my wife greeting my dog? Can you hear that?
What kind of dog you got?
Sorry, I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but she was very excited to see my dog.
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
He's a beautiful German Shepherd, Golden Retriever mix of a lot of things. Beautiful boy.
Wow.
But so
I love him already.
Back to skate videos, because fuck dogs. All right, skate videos. That's what's important.
Well, my first dog was a golden retriever, and
that's so cute.
Their name was Garbo.
Oh, Garbo.
Yeah, like Garbo. That's so sweet.
Named after Greta Garbo.
I'm jealous.
An
that you
actress
had a dog.
from Hollywood.
Yeah, my hometown, Hollywood, California.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to skate videos. I'm sure you have a million questions for us, Bill.
Yeah. First question would be. It's just sorry, I just punched my microphone.
What the fuck?
It's just like it cancels the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first question: end meeting.
Yeah. The sun is starting to set, and it's getting into that part where I was going to say it's right in my eyes. So we're almost at that moment. So with Fancy Lad, how do you? My question is, what makes you say, I'm gonna start making boards? Because that to me has always been the fucking way beyond my comprehension of how do you get a skateboard printed, who you talk to, who distributes anything. It does not make sense to me. What made you say, I'm going to start doing this? It's crazy to me.
It wasn't actually my idea. It was Artie Vagianos, owner of Coliseum.
Yo, exit Artie.
Okay.
I showed him the first Fancy Lad video, which, I think wasn't really that great at the time, but, it was breaking a lot of rules. Like I said, punk.
Artie's all about breaking the rules. Always has been.
It's true.
You know?
He's a bit of a...
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston Massacre, the fucking genius of a video. I stand by that. I think it's fantastic. I think the major fail was the DVD formatting of it.
Yeah.
But the way they did the buttons.
I feel like Artie was like a huge troll for skateboarding before that was even a thing.
He is the ultimate troll, but in like the best way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's all for the underdog, which is why he was the best troll. Like, that's like his whole thing. And I showed him the video, and Fisk had a part, even though he was skating for heroin. And, you know, I don't think, looking back, the video was, you know, I do think it was groundbreaking, but it wasn't actually that good, you know, judging it just by the skating itself. But Artie was saying, if you have this video, why don't you just print some boards and put a name to it, and then you have a company? And I was like, all right, I'll do that. And I printed one graphic, and it was the VHS graphic, and it was our best-selling graphic, and we still print it off and on to this day with the classic VHSs of skate videos, and then had the one Fancy Lad video in the middle with whiteout Fancy Lad written on it. So
now that answers the question of the spark, but as far as getting the wood itself, the actual, who do you talk to about like who's screen printing these things? Is it somebody in the Czech Republic, like making up vinyls?
No, it's Chapman Skateboards.
Okay.
You know, from New York. And originally I was trying to reach out to Bareback and Chapman and Generator. And Chapman were the only ones who were actually like down to print the boards. And they're from New York. You know, they print Zoo York. And, you know, it was Jeremy Rogers' first sponsor back when he skated 8 Ball Skate Park, where he first started rollerblading there.
I mean, 8 Ball was Mendon adjacent. So when I was dating that girl, sometimes I'd stop over at 8 Ball. You know, no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bellingham, Massachusetts, represent.
Yeah, love me some 8 Ball. I went for maybe my 13th birthday. Spent at 8 Ball. Big deal.
Classic. I gotta tell you, my best birthday parties were at 8 Ball.
Hell yeah. I mean, could I actually do anything other than ride down the bank, kind of into the main part of the skate park, and then go back to the top of the bank? Absolutely not.
No.
Is my cat currently dragging her ass across the ground and breaking off a piece of shit on the floor? Yes, she is. Is this room going to smell really bad soon? You better believe it. So, is she currently eating the shit out of her ass right now? Yes.
That's how they clean
is.
themselves. That's called taking a bath. I
Trust
don't know
me,
if
a
you've ever
millennial.
taken a bath, but
Yeah.
you clean the shit out of your ass with your tongue.
Fair enough. I've not bathed recently then. So I got to get on that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Kat. I'm so appreciative that in this sealed off room, you decided to take that shit and spread it all over the floor. Definitely appreciate it.
Well, Bill, I know you're a busy guy, so we'll wrap this up soon. But I got to tell you, just for your own record, that when I knew you were going to be on the podcast, I was listening to the song Hard Times by Baby Huey. On repeat,
Okay.
just to mentally prepare.
You got to get in that headspace.
Are you familiar with the song?
I'm not. I'm familiar with the song Hard Times by the Cro-Mags, but not by Baby Huey.
Okay, well, it was the song that Chet Childress skated to in God Save the Label.
Oh, okay. All right, now we're talking. We're talking Chet, but I don't recall that song, to be honest with you.
You know, this is a huge missed opportunity for you because this could really be like a soundbite for your whole little, you know, website you got going there. Where it's like MySpace and people click on your website and it starts playing the song because it's really good, actually.
You know, if you'd gotten that Chet Childress like reference, this could have launched your whole career. This could have been good for you.
I could have been one of your top 5 friends on MySpace, but you blew it.
I could have been one of the top 8.
I thought, you know, when you asked me to do this podcast, and I was happy to do it, and we made it this far in, and I was feeling good about everything. And then this happened, and I'm so embarrassed that I'm asking you not to put this out for my own, like, it will hurt my brand if this is released at this point. Like, my brand is going to be in ruins.
People are going to call you a poser.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
And I wish we could help you out, Bill, but as we said at the beginning of this, we are all about hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah.
So
Journalism.
we'd be doing a massive disservice to our huge fan base. Massive. I don't even know how to describe how large the fan base is, but it's big. It's big.
You think 500,000's a lot? Ooh.
Okay.
We're talking.
Try having that 1 million times.
We're talking.
Shit.
We
I'm
got
ruined.
close to 1,000 followers.
I'm fucking ruined right now, guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this.
So
Well,
Alright,
you know, it's time to start fucking thinking about that forklift certification.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, good, honest work. I want you to know that.
I would 3 years ago I would have agreed with you, but for the last couple years when I've been living high on the hog in LA,
Yep.
I completely disagree, and I'm not going back. You know, like a guy, like a hardened criminal, I'm not going back to that prison. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the prison that is the 9 to 5 slave wages that me and Tom work. Yeah, I
9
get
to 5, 9 to 5. I was lucky if I got 6 to 5. You know, it was usually 5:30 to 7. Okay. Oh boy, rough warehouse hours.
it. Okay, so you're working 80 hours a week.
Yeah. That was on like half days. You know, so it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
wow.
So
Holy shit.
You should have called like child services or something.
oh, but I was an adult at the time. They would have not listened.
God damn
Yeah, sucks.
it. What if you tried your baby voice?
I did. I would be like, "Hi, it's me. It's Bill. And they're working me really hard." And, yeah, they did not do anything for me. It sucked.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
No.
Damn.
That seems unfair. God,
Like,
they really don't.
I'm
They really
2
don't give a
years
shit.
old and I'm a big baby. And I'm like, what?
It's like, what? I'm sorry. What was that? You're like, oh no, I'm going poo poo again.
Yeah, they were saying that I was harassing them and that it was an abuse of the service. And I was like, but I am a big baby.
Yeah. Well, Bill, I just got to say, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. And, you know, I would love to sit here all day and just name drop different bands that I like to try to prove that I'm cool. But
Okay.
quite frankly, we don't have the time.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we could go through a few real quick. The
Yeah.
Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Kiss,
Mm-hmm.
Prance,
All
Prance,
legit punk
Taylor
bands.
Swift,
Prawns?
Yeah.
Prince,
Prance.
Yeah, North
Um,
Dakota's finest right there, Prance.
Oh my!
You know, I will say actually before we go, even though maybe you could, no, you probably don't even have a favorite meme or something. But I was going to say one that actually did hit me hard was, and I don't know if you had anything to do with it whatsoever.
Oh, so I
but-
can stop you right here. Anytime anybody has ever said this to me, it's never one of mine. So I'm used to this.
Okay,
so-
good. But it was, yeah, it's probably not. But it was a guy in Faith No More shirt. Can't stop talking about Faith No More. And
Yeah.
that reminded me of a younger version of myself in high school.
I did edit that one. So if you read the article to that,
I did read the article.
Okay. Then I probably threw in a couple jokes in there. But yeah, that was, I believe, Michael Sivins, one of our contributors, did that, who is a big Faith No More fan himself. So he just wrote it about himself, more or
Yep,
less.
exactly. Fucking genius.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Time you can hit a Faith No More fan right where it hurts. You know, take down Mike Patton a bit.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, this
But,
fucking huge fucking high horse, dude. I'm so sick of it.
So, guys, after this, I know we're wrapping it up. I just have one request: is that so if I'm for some reason brought up as SouthShore Legend, please make up a trick about me that you had heard that I have done. Like, the more ridiculous, the better, and just be like, "Oh yeah, he did that in 90." You know, whatever it might be.
Okay, I'm thinking the
that's all I ask.
Prudential. We can workshop it right now. I'm thinking the Prudential 17.
Yeah, no. When I did the nollie hard flip over that, yeah, that was. That was
I'm
pretty
thinking
sick.
Nollie hard flip revert, the original ghetto bird that Kareem did on a bank in a 4-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See,
no,
I
we're going with that.
was thinking something more realistic. You know, something that people might actually believe. Not to say that you couldn't do that.
No,
Not to say that you couldn't do that.
if you said that maybe I kick flipped it, somebody might believe that.
Right. So I was thinking a little bit more realistic. So hear me out.
Yeah.
All right. You
Here we
start
go.
off. top of John Hancock.
Yeah.
All right. You fucking
Wait, we're talking where WZLX is broadcasting from?
Oh, absolutely. WZLX from on top of the big fat cock in the center of Boston. We play the hardest, fattest, girthiest rock in town.
There you go.
See, do you think I have a future in hard rock broadcasting?
If you say girthy like 10 times more than you already do, then you are going to replace what's his name that's over there, Steve something.
Move aside, Steven.
Whatever your name is.
Whatever your name is.
Washed up
Tyler.
comedian from the 80s.
Welcome to the girthiest radio station playing the girthiest girth rock to
Girth Rocker.
Girth Rocker. See, that was a real missed opportunity on BAM. I could have called it Girth Rocker, you know?
Should have. All right, so what was the trick you were going to have me do down, like drop in on the Hancock? What are we doing?
I was thinking just maybe like 900 and then land in like, fucking salad grind on a telephone line. Do that
sick.
for 4 blocks.
Hell yeah. Well, what if it was like a 900 and I landed on one of those ledges that are out in front of that building now, and just like land in a grind or something.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't feel like you can grind a telephone line, then that's fine.
That sounds like straight out of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Thug.
Oh.
Tony Hawk Underground, actually. Sorry.
It's a game I never played. It's just
whatever it is, we're gonna make.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever made it all the way through Thug. Played it a few times.
That was the last good one. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I'll digress.
It doesn't matter. Yep. It doesn't matter. But anyways, we're gonna make up some tricks.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tell people you did them.
Yeah,
and
I appreciate that.
It's gonna become true.
It has to. Like I said, the amount of tricks that I am credited with that I have never done is staggering. The only things I've ever done are on shitty Hanson Skate Park low rails, and that's it. This was back before people could like do like Matt Tomasello is so much better at skateboarding than I will in my prime. Like he is 10 times better than I ever was in my prime, and yet I will get some credit from him as being him saying that I'm a SouthShore Legend is unfair to him. That's all I'm saying.
Not to mention Seabotch.
Chris Botch is my favorite skateboarder in the world. There's no skateboarder I like more than him.
Dude, me and Tom are literally right in the room right now.
That's true.
Wait, what?
Oh, but we're not from the South Shore.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh, no, he said in the world. He didn't say from the South Shore.
But I only consider the South Shore the world. Like that's my world where I come from. But Chris, that fucking board slide to wall ride thing he posted on the Instagram the other day. What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And his front blunt kick flips out. They've been getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very good.
He's a talent and a gem. And so
And he's a nice guy. So just yell exits to all the Cliff Bar boys.
All the Cliff Bar boys.
That's his crew. The crew he runs with, they go by the Cliff Bar boys.
Yeah,
Dave Lewis, Meatball, Seabotch. They're all the Cliff Bar boys.
That's what they go by.
That's what they go by.
That's what they like to be called, is the Cliff Bar boys.
When the Hard Times had a book launch a couple years back, they came out to the our book event in Boston. So I mean, when a homie shows up to support you when your book comes out, I mean, come on, guys,
How can
nothing
you
but respect.
Absolutely.
And last question, can you get me and Tom some jobs in the entertainment industry?
Yeah,
We're looking at something that's 6, maybe 7 figures.
easy. I mean,
And I don't care where the decimal is.
yeah. Drop what you're doing right now. Book your ticket to Los Angeles tonight.
Okay.
By tomorrow morning, I will have you guys hooked up so fucking hard. You're gonna be in the hills, baby. You're gonna be Andy Samberg's gonna be your fucking neighbor, and you're gonna be like, "Hey, Andy, shut the fuck up. You're too loud." All right.
Yeah.
And he's gonna listen.
I wasn't doing anything. I was listening to an audiobook.
Exactly.
Can I call him like a stupid idiot poo-poo head or something like that?
You could.
Not only could you, it's encouraged because you're gonna be fucking rolling in so much money. All right.
That's great.
Make it happen tonight.
Fuck yeah.
until then, I need to fly standby because I work at Delta and I only get the free flight if I fly standby. So I'll see if there's any seats available, but
yeah,
that's
fair.
And I'll
That's
check
fair.
my bank account and see if I can afford a flight. But hey, you know what? Who knows?
You're
Maybe
investing
I
in
can.
yourself. You're going to
Yeah, that's
be
true.
making a shit ton by the time you get here tomorrow morning.
It's a tough sell though.
Well,
it's
that's
like,
great.
Yeah.
Bill, I'm glad things are doing so good for you, and I applaud you and everything that you do. No, genuinely, I do want you to keep doing what you're doing as long as possible.
I'm going to try my best.
You know what? And don't sell out.
You know what? You're right. I'm going to stay broke. I'm going to stay broke and stay hungry.
Yeah. Like,
hell yeah.
just think of yourself as like Fred Durst from like $3 Bill, y'all. Don't think of yourself as like Fred Durst from Significant Other.
I only think of myself as early Fred Durst, like skating a mini ramp, big ass Osiris shoes, red hat.
Yep.
I don't even know Paris Hilton yet, but maybe, we're getting there. But that's
God, you
how I
wanna
picture
fuck her.
myself. Oh yeah. Bro. Don't get me started.
All right. Well, you know what? If I am ever out in LA, genuinely, I'll hit you up.
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'll hit Matt Price up.
Yep.
And I'll hit Matt King up, but I don't know if you know him. And I will hit up Tim Robinson
Yeah.
since he skates.
Conan lives in L.A.
Oh, I'll hit Conan up.
Go.
And
Are you just doing what other like we could do Kimmel? Kimmel
Yeah.
review?
should I hit up?
We're not on good terms with Kimmel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hit up Quentin Tarantino
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can hit him up.
Yep.
since he made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm assuming he lives there.
He owes me $5, so if you get a hold of him, tell him to answer my fucking calls.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, all those dudes, they'd definitely be down to skate, 100%.
I know you're too big to visit your bourgeois, schmourgeois friends back in Massachusetts.
This is
but-
correct.
Yeah, but you're more than welcome to sleep on our couch if you ever, make your way back to Boston.
There's a 0% chance I ever come back to the East Coast. Like, it's...
Good move. Solid move.
There's nothing that could bring me back there. Last time I was back... Oh, guys, all right, I'm going to end on this. I'm going to end on a sad note, all right? I got a story for you, all right? Last time I was back...
Hit me.
Here's a fucked up story, all right? Last time I'm back. It's for my cousin's funeral, all right? My cousin, my age, all right? So here's what happened. My cousin Scott, his dad, my uncle Dick, dies of stomach cancer. Terrible cancer to die of, right? Because you starve to death. So Uncle Dick, he dies. He led a great life. He's old. Cancer happens. So Dick's one wish was to have his ashes spread over the house that he had in Hanson. Scott is a pilot. Spent many years in the Army flying helicopters. And in Hanson, the town I'm from, South Shore, represent. There's a small airport. So Scott gets into his airplane with his brother, and they have their father's ashes with them. They go to take off. There's a malfunction. Scott crashes the airplane. Scott dies. His brother, my cousin, paralyzed on the way to spread their father's ashes.
Oh,
That's the last
my
time
God.
I was back in Massachusetts, was for that funeral. Now, his wife, Scott's wife, now widow, found out she was pregnant the day before he died. So how fucked up is that? Is there a God? I don't think so, because this guy's a clown.
No.
I was going to say, God, he has a plan for everybody. And I'm sorry to hear about that unfortunate accident. But, yeah, he's a bit of a clown.
Yeah, he's a real joker up there. He's like the Senate, a bunch of clowns. But yeah, so no, I'm never coming back to Massachusetts. It just reminds me of cousins dying in plane crashes while they're trying to do a tribute to their father. I'll be back next. Yeah. Or I'll be back next time somebody else dies. The Conways are a big family. Everybody's fucking dying. So it'll be back. It'll be back.
Well,
And
that's what I thought,
we'll
because I've met so many Conways before, but it's only been once each time.
Yeah.
I never run into them again.
Yeah, no, because they're dead after that meeting. I'm probably going to die after this. It's unfortunately just how it is. So, yeah. But if I don't die before the next time I have to be forced to come back to Massachusetts for a funeral, we will skate. Hopefully my sprained ass will no longer be a problem. And hopefully your sprained ass will no longer be a problem, or your bruised tailbone.
Thank you. Billy, what's the matter? You don't come back to Boston unless someone dies? What, I gotta be 6 feet in the grave for you to come back and visit your old uncle?
Wait, is this my Uncle Peter right now?
This is your Uncle Peter on the podcast. I am a guest on the Fancy Lad podcast.
Wait, but why are you in the grave?
Because I'm saying what, I gotta be on the grave for old Billy to come visit me. I don't get in.
Even though they call me Billy, this is impressive. It runs deep. It's like you know the character of Massachusetts. It's almost like you're from there.
All right, Bill. You know what? Thanks again.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And we'll be in touch. I'm sure that you want us to be a contributor on the Hard Times News and pay us 6 figures. And we'll be in touch about that. But
yeah. Send over the contract through our agent.
Yeah, perfect. And until next time.
Guys, it's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Bill. Oh, gosh, so great having a guest like Bill Conway on the podcast.
Ah, man. And not only a SouthShore legend, which I feel like we stressed more about than the fact that actual meme legend.
Right.
We're all about the meme accounts here.
Yeah. And, I like the meme accounts because they're the new medium of comedy for today's generation and how people take in content. And quite frankly, I kind of, thinking about it now, I would have dived in a little deeper to see if he had ever wanted, he said he was pursuing stand-up comedy for 10 years. I would have asked him if he was trying to pursue any sort of, trying to use the Hard Times as sort of a stepping stone, if you will, to, jumpstart his writing career.
Someone needs to jumpstart it, Got to do it.
Really does, because there's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
And he could have been the next Kevin Smith.
He could have been, but, luckily he avoided that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if Kevin Smith died after Dogma.
Oh, man, what the... that's an alternate reality that would be cool.
Yeah, that everybody would have enjoyed.
Yeah, we might have found success.
Might have.
We might have found more success.
Yeah.
Greater success.
But we can't live in a bunch of, what ifs, You can live your whole life thinking, what if this, what if that. We got to be here now.
That's true. We do got to be here now. But, we also have to do. We have to wrap up the episode.
That's what I'm saying by being here now.
Right.
Is that this is the end of the episode. And so the thing that we have to do is end it.
So in order to leave, we need to be here now so we can leave now.
Right.
But before we go, is there anything you wanted to say to everyone? Or I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Just a question.
Just one.
Oh, okay. It's cool.
I just have one thing that I want to say.
All right. Well, let's make sure it's nice and clear.
All right. Keep on rocking in a free world.
Dude, fuck yeah. You know what? That's awesome.
Yeah.